Welcome back to the channel. I want to talk about that nasty word. It's not accountability. It's rejection. It's something that men, well, you have a choice as a man, whether or not you want to learn how to overcome it, deal with it, live with it. If you want you know, you want the fruit or the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You don't have to. You can be by yourself. You can be isolated, but and not just with relations, right? That also comes with jobs, with well, anything in life where you need something from someone else. The fear of rejection, the chance of rejection is just very real. It's omnipresent. But we talk about it from the woman's point of view because I don't know it from the woman's point of view. I don't think women face the same sort of rejection in the way we think about it. Before we start, like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate it.
Women don't get rejected as much as men do. That is what is happening on the inside of my comment section. All these men are telling me that women do not get rejected as much as men do. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. Now, if you are the opposite gender, then you obviously don't really know a lot about what's happening with the other. So
Very fair, very true.
women don't really understand all of what it feels like as a man to go out somewhere, approach women, and potentially get rejected, potentially become a video on TikTok. We don't understand that. And that happens to them on a regular basis. So I feel for them. But also, men need to understand that we get rejected just as much as they do. Because, like, in this day and time, a lot of women are like, I'm not just going to wait for a man to come and approach me, that we are courageous and we go out to men ourselves. Listen,
So right there, I don't think that's I don't think that's a claim you can put on most women. From women I've talked to, from women on social media telling their stories, a lot of them, okay, don't maybe it's this that you don't approach men in the same ways that men approach women. So what when we approach women, we do it in a way in which it's completely obvious. My intention. You don't. Hopefully, you shouldn't think that. Oh, is he just being friendly? No, I'm indicating my interest in you and bracing myself for whatever the reply, the rebuttal may be. I think when women shoot their shot, it's in subtler ways. It's in ways that are easily misconstrued as hints, and they don't rise to the level of you know being hit on. I often tell a lot of my friends, a lot of my female friends, no, I don't get hit on, and they're like, no, I don't believe that. No, maybe it's I just have blinders on because I have a male set of eyes.
I went to a dating event. Listen. I went to a dating event smelling good, looking good, all the things. I walked up to at least 10 men. Now, that's an understated word, okay? At least 10 men. Do you know how many of them looked at me and walked away? All of them.
All right, that cool. That's rejection. But now do that over the course of how many years, right? Decades, right? Think of that of 2.5 decades of you going up to women and being rejected, right? You will be rejected more so than you will actually have success. The difference here is just like women don't owe men their attention and their time and their affection. We don't owe you our time, attention, or affection either. If you go up to a man, you go up to 10, 20, 30, 50, and you're not their type, right? You're not their type. And you get rejected. That's what it is, right? That's just what it is. And you're at a dating event specifically set up for this. But if you take that same sort of outlook, you push 10 men, 3:15 a.m., at the club right before closing, you think you had 10 rejections? So I think this is one of those times where it's not apples to orange in the comparison.
All of them. And I was like, okay, these are not my guys. But guess what? That happens to people all the time. So whether you are black, brown, slim, curvy, all your teeth, missing a few teeth, whatever, everybody deals with rejection. So men, if you think that you're alone, you are not. I promise. we deal with it too. You just may think that it happens to you more, but literally it happens to us. If you're a woman and you get rejected when you meet people, tell us in the comments, and then men, you can tell us too. But not to me.
Well, you don't get put on social media. You don't get put on blast. You don't get your job called and you know said that you harassed this person. You don't get stories made up and saying that with getting the law involved. So this is again, it's in a very small, tight, controlled setting. It's not a true comparison. And again, this is not to say that women don't get rejected. Absolutely, you can get rejected. But to say it's the same, it's not on the same scale. But by no means, right? And I think if anyone was being genuine, they could say that. They would be honest and say that. Like when women shoot their shot and appropriately shoot their shot, knowing how they look, what they've got on, the type of environment, and you go up to a man and you're in general like men's type, you're going to get more play, more back and forth. I could be physically a woman's type, but it could not be my day, right? She could just not be in that mood right then and there, right? She may have some other things on her mind, and any other day it may have been a go. Today it's not. If you are physically what men are typically like to see, you'll have a better shot at least continuing conversation, at least getting like further down the line. It's your batting average would be, stupendous. So it's nowhere near the same. You don't get rejected anywhere to the same amount of men. And even if you're saying that you're getting rejected now in your later years in life, you didn't start off getting rejected. You didn't have to fight that internal, voice in your head telling you you're not good enough. There's a reason she didn't like you. She liked this other person. And this starts early, early, early for us, that we have to either become numb, learn to ignore that voice, or just kind of push through. I mean, consider it. Are there really is there really an industry set up to help women deal with rejection? Right? Whole pickup artist game, right? That industry was set up to help men learn how to talk to women. You disguise it in clever approaches, but a lot of it, what it came down to was reps, right? Build up that almost that immunity of going and talk to women, going to talk to them, 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 constantly, you know, until you learn how to deal with that rejection or that fear of it, and that fear sort of lessens. Like, it's not the end all be all. Okay, she didn't like me. That's not the end of my world. Moving on, moving on. But there are entire systems created just to address that thing with men, because they understand that approaching approaching a courting is always the job and the purview of men. So women getting rejected, yeah, that's I would say it's probably you shooting probably one of the first times in your life you get to understand that not all men are for you. Not all male attention is your attention. You're not guaranteed that attention. So you can, for the first time ever, realize this is where my level may be. If you go around with the notion, all right, I'm a 10, I'm a 10, I'm a 10, and you shoot your shot at someone you think is on your level, and you don't get the time of day, you get ghosted, you get nothing, you get nothing. That may be the first time you have that feedback saying, wait a second, maybe something's different. But let me know what you think. See you guys in the comments.